As Rishi Sunak settles into his new appointment as the Prime Minister, the big question is, how is his appointment going to have an effect on the housing market? Hey, if you're watching my videos for the first time, my name is Saj Hussain, and on this channel I share with you my 15 plus years of property investing experience to ultimately help you get further faster in your own property investing business. Now, the housing market is a major contributor to the overall economy, so what this means is as the housing market changes, it has a big impact in what's going on in the overall economy. The earlier appointment of Liz Truss caused some turmoil in the economy and the financial markets, but now those are starting to settle a little bit, but mortgage rates are now still rising, currently at 6%, and this is a major concern for homeowners and also those in the property sector such as landlords and those looking to buy property. Even in recent days, we've started to see some of the mortgage rates come down a little bit despite their spike that happened just a few weeks ago. And this is demonstrating some of the confidence in the new Prime Minister. So it certainly seems we're now much better placed to face the recession and the financial storm that's about to happen than we were a few weeks earlier. Although the Chancellor Jeremy Hunt was appointed a few weeks ago by Liz Truss, he's been kept in his current position by Rishi Sunak, demonstrating some confidence in his ability. During the shuffling around, Michael Gove has been reappointed as the Housing Secretary, and this has been coming back to a previous position that he had at the Department of Levelling Up and Housing Committees. And he calls this unfinished business, and I think what he did start during his previous tenure there was quite interesting, so I think it's good news that he's come back to this particular role. This role as the head of Levelling Up, Housing and Committees is one that's changed a number of times. In fact, it's changed 8 times since 2015, with both Michael Gove and Greg Clark taking on this challenge twice. However, the Housing Minister seat has been even more hotter with 13 changes since 2010, with Lee Rowley being the current occupant of that seat. Although these constant changes of roles are not really ideal for the housing sector because it causes instability, the reappointment of Michael Gove, however, has come across as something that most people are welcoming, particularly with his stance that's been on underperforming housing associations and also developers as well around the cladding and fire safety scandals. Over the summer, whilst Rishi Sunak was battling for the Prime Minister role, which he initially lost to Liz Truss, during that time, during a number of media interviews, he gave his idea on housing policies and what he'd like to see happen. Under Boris Johnson's government, Sunak supported the Renters Reform Bill and the fairer private rented sector white paper, but he made very few comments explicitly about landlords and tenants, just offering overall support for the reforms. Many of us in the housing sector feel that the Renters Reform Bill will really be damaging to landlords, and particularly when it comes to the supply of property within the housing sector. However, it looks like under Michael Gove that the current rollout and the expected changes and the ban to Section 21 will happen as expected. A recent political favourite of the month have been rent freezes, which in Scotland now they already operate, but in Wales, where the idea was floated but actually rejected. But one of Sunak's closest friends and allies in the Commons is Kevin Hollinrake, an MP who was the former chairman of Hunters and has already spoken out strongly against rent freezes, so don't expect Sunak to go down this road. I think the PM is keen to see younger people own homes, and this time during Chancellor he introduced a £12 billion affordable homes programme, which was one of the largest investments in the sector for a considerable amount of time. In fact, he's gone on record to say he'll do whatever it takes to build plentiful, affordable homes for the next generation of Conservative voters. The previous Tory manifesto had committed to building 300,000 homes a year. However, it seems the PM seems to have rejected this. His team has said what matters is helping councils get plans in place more quickly to deliver beautiful homes which communities can support. Essentially wants to introduce reforms to remove barriers for small builders and deliver more homes through modern methods of construction. He also plans to implement a balanced approach to planning fees, which his team has said will provide funding, certainly for planning departments, but also not place disproportionate burdens on small developers. The PM has previously also been in favour of increasing the density in inner cities and creating more development in those areas, but at the same time is also concerned about developers land banking and talking about that they should be utilising and building that land before they are taking on new land, and the possibility of maybe even compulsory purchase orders for some of that land that's sitting there not being developed. Overall, when it comes to housing, there's a lot for the PM to be getting on with, especially in a time where house prices are rising, rents are rising, and the affordability cost for mortgages is also going through the roof as well. Overall, my gut feeling is that this PM is probably going to do a better job when it comes to housing than the previous PM, Liz Truss, is probably going to do it in this sector. Some of the key components of this are going to be making the planning reforms that they want to do, making that easier. I'm not sure about the Section 21 removal. Really, I still believe that's going to have a negative impact within the housing sector. It's not going to be good overall for landlords or tenants. However, the key thing really is going to be to drive down the affordability. Right now, the affordability is too high for people to be able to get onto the housing ladder. Mortgage rates have risen so significantly that many people, especially the younger generation getting onto the housing ladder for the first time, don't even know a time where the rates had been this high previously, because you have to probably roll the clock back maybe 10, 12, 15 years to see rates as they currently are right now. If the government and the Bank of England can sort out these issues, then I certainly think the housing market will move. But ultimately, my belief is we're probably going to see more of a slowdown first before we see any improvement in the market. For the next 2 years, we'll probably be using different property investing strategies really to create a profit from property, because the market will change and the things we need to be doing to benefit from those opportunities will also change. And I'll be sharing more about that on this channel. So if you enjoy this content, then make sure that you click on my face over here to subscribe to this channel, and that way YouTube will keep you notified when I'm releasing these videos. Once you've subscribed, make sure you click on this video over here to watch this one next, where I'll be talking about the strategies that we're going to be using for the next 2 years to profit from property. So look forward to seeing you on this video.